Here's the trouble we're having with people that are committing these heinous crimes. There's a darkness in the land. It's an evil. It's a force. It's a darkness. And people that are controlled and driven by this darkness, they're able to do the things that they do because there is no light in their life. Light dispels darkness. People that are moving and acting and becoming this uncontrolled wave of violent evil, it's because there is no light in their life. Light directs you. It governs you. It eliminates evil. It eliminates. It produces fear. Fear of God. Fear of the police. Fear of retribution. Fear of retaliation. But when there's no fear in your life, and you have when you're not afraid of anything, then you do dastardly acts like this. The reason the talking heads don't understand darkness is because they've never entered into a form or a phase of darkness that these people have ventured into. Darkness and violence is a darkness. And people are able to commit and perform and do dastardly violent acts because of the lack of light, direction, loyalty, conviction in their life. Their lives are lives filled with darkness. And you ever been in a completely dark room? You grope around, you grab at things, but these are people that are familiar with darkness. They live in it, they stay in it, they move in it, although they coexist with human beings. These are brute force, brute beasts that are governed by unclean, unfamiliar spirits that are directing them in these dark places. You cannot explain to me how a man can walk in, a 20-year-old man can walk in and have so much problems and trouble in his mind that he kills 4-, 5-, and 6-year-old children point blank without any kind of conscience. You explain that to me in human words, and I'll tell you what, you'll be made king of the land. Until you begin to understand that people that have been in this darkness and have been saved from it and pulled out of it, like myself, I comprehend to some degree how and why these people are able to do this stuff that they do. It's not that they don't have any control of it. They have complete control. That's the problem. And all the gun laws, let's not make any more gun laws. If we're going to have gun laws, how about let's just enforce the gun laws we already have? And as far as crowd control, you can't control crowds until you can control individuals. Make our schools safe zones. Everyone that passes into that school has to pass through a metal detector. The sensitivity gauges on the metal detectors can be set where a little paper clip doesn't set it off. But if they're carrying a lot of metal on them, it's going to set it off. Why is that not even going on now? Why is there not metal detectors? Why don't we set lines of defense around our schools, around our malls, around our restaurants and our theaters? How many more will it take before somebody will say, hey, maybe trying to figure out why he did it is not the issue. How about preparing for the next one who we know is going to come on scene and do it? It's being planned right now. Today is December 14th. 2012, and I tell you, within the next 2 weeks, there will be another random act of violence, another random shooting going on somewhere, someplace in America, probably in the north, because these guys are competitors. They're not lone wolves. I mean, they're lone wolves when they plan it, but they're competitors, and there's competition amongst them. They might not outright be doing this to be competitive. Some of them are flat out just crazy and do it out of retribution and a warped understanding of revenge, like this cat that did all those killings in Newtown. But it's being planned. It's on the horizon. It's marching with orders right now. It's very organized. It's very detailed. It's very strategic. And it's going to make it happen to his own designs and his own agenda. Let's make plans for it. Cut this nonsense out of trying to figure out why it happened. You got people talking about it who have never even broke the law. Come on, man. You're not going to figure out darkness and violence when you have never even performed one single act of violence in your entire life. You better get somebody who knows how to deal with violence. If not me, somebody who has a violent nature and can relate to the mind of this predator and the mind of this violent person. You better find somebody.